Hey, Star Wars fans and Rule the Galaxy fans. It is Joe in the pilot seat for chapter 285. We're a few minutes late from the 9 p.m. start time on YouTube, but that's okay. Well, at least we're not on DDoC time and it's not 9:30. Anyway, chapter 285. You like us, you love us. If you do like us and love us, follow us on YouTube, like, subscribe, everything like that. Tell your friends about us. We have been doing 284, now 285 chapters on your podcast platform of choice. So go check us out there. We're all over social media. You can follow us at Rule the Galaxy SW pretty much everywhere, or Rule the Galaxy Podcast. And gosh, guys, it's a fun night tonight. It's one of those relaxing nights. We don't have any major topics to discuss. Lots of just fun stuff. But we got some special guests, some friends we met a few years ago who it's always good to catch up with and check in, that we're going to be seeing very soon down in Nashville. But before we get to Matt and Jim, our special guests, I'm going to start by going around the room and say hi to my cousin, Mr. Alfie. How are you, Alfie?
We're doing good, Joe. Just when you think life can't get any crazier, now we're in high school sports and busy. Somehow, though, everything came along, line tonight, and I could be on here. So excited to talk some ICCC with these guys.
You got it. That's good to hear. And for you, like I said, send me over the schedule. I can't wait to see the young man out there beating people up on the football field. I'm sure I've got some other sport or whatever to catch up with your daughters. So keep me in the loop on that so I can get to see that. I know it's got to be fun. I remember the days of watching my son play high school football, and there's really not much like it. When you're a dad and your kid's out on the field hitting, busting heads and stuff, it's a lot of fun. So I'm glad your schedule worked out and you could be here, and we'll have a good night tonight. Hey, my friend, my Australian Rules football friend, my trivia friend who, gosh dang it, Brent, we have a trivia night in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow is our first trivia night of the year.
Isn't it?
No, 2 weeks.
Brent, you want it to be free.
It is 2 weeks. Oh, it is 2 weeks. Well, so it's 3 Fridays from now. It's three Fridays from now.
Counting tomorrow, yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like you scared me there. Like it's not next. Like I got.
Time is linear.
It is linear. It is linear, and I do have some questions. So if anybody's listening, Tom Line probably. I'll change it up. But so Dr. Drake Vermore,
yes,
had a stalker. So who was Dr. Drake Vermore's stalker from the TV show Friends?
Do you need the actress's name?
I know her real name.
What's her real name? Who is the actress that played the stalker?
Brooke Shields.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That is one of the ones that I was messing around with. There may be a Friends category with some Friends trivia. Pivot is not part of it, but it's a good one. Pivot.
That's the only thing I know from Friends. I have never watched that series.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. You only know Pivot?
Yeah, because I've seen that clips like 9 billion times. Pivot.
Well, as you can see, our friends Matt and Jim from ECP, or as we talked about the alphabet soup, ECPCTV, or the Eclectic Collective, just basically the guys we met at the podcast room at the ICCC. Our two friends, our two pals, Matt and Jim, are both here. I'll let one of you guys take the lead.
Well, I was just going to say, when we first created our podcast, like the name was the first thing we came to. Mm-hmm. And I guess we were just not in the right frame of mind to make an easy name for this podcast.
Yeah.
Because no matter what we do, it's like
we went with the first thing. We went the first thing we thought of, and it was the whole show that we created was based on our eclectic fandoms that we all love. It was it's a big soup of just everything, and so it's like, that just makes a whole lot of sense. We weren't really thinking, does that make a great show title? Will that look good on a web banner on our website? We didn't think any of that stuff through. So. But we stuck with it. We stuck with it.
Yeah, we rode that pony all the way through.
Hey, real quick, let's try this out real quick. We were having some pre-show conversations. I'm gonna try this out here real quick. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with this here real quick. Ready?
Mhm.
You two guys are fans of the Tennessee Volunteers. You guys all see this? Here
Yeah.
we go. What? So have we seen this? Or
What are we watching, Joe?
we're watching Megan Maroney, Tennessee Orange. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing so I don't get in trouble here.
I was going to say there might be a copyright strike.
I mentioned that.
No. Now, if I can break down the screen,
but we're not monetizing it, so it doesn't matter. So, like, what? Who is this? Who is this young lady?
It's Megan Maroney. There we go. I'm back. I can see you guys again. Megan Maroney, country singer, Tennessee Orange. These two gentlemen are from Tennessee.
Big Tennessee fans.
We were talking about the Titans. We were talking about the Volunteers. And Alfie asked them if they listen to the song Tennessee Orange. I had not heard it. So I'm not a country fan.
It's really a pretty good song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, I've heard it 10,000 times because my girls listen to it all the time.
Yeah, I'm just when it comes to mainstream country music, mainstream music anymore, really. I listen to the behind the scenes, like independent artists now. Like I'm too good for music these days, I guess is what I'm saying. You know,
okay.
I'm a D-bag when it comes
You're
to
one of those, huh? You're one of those,
I'm snooty. I'm snooty when it comes to my music.
It wasn't it Taylor Swift who said my boyfriend's listening to some indie album that's much better than mine? Wasn't that from one of her songs? I don't know. Anyway.
Joe, did you just out yourself as a Swiftie right there?
I love
Swiftie in the
I
room.
love T Swizzle. I'd go see a T Swizzle concert.
Same.
I would too, because you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
There's so much, like 3.5 hours, 42 songs.
I mean, you only have to take out a third mortgage on your home to go see a show. So I mean, you know.
So fun fact, there were several teachers at the school that I work at that actually went to Madrid, Spain, because it was cheaper to buy the plane ticket to Spain, the hotel room, and the concert ticket than it was to find one in the U.S.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how stupid we are.
My guilty pleasure
I've recently
when it comes to that is Lady Gaga. I can go see Lady Gaga.
Really?
Not T Swift.
Oh man.
I'd go see them both if they were reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah, either one. Yeah.
But here's the deal. My daughter went to Olivia Rodrigo and paid damn near T-Swizzle prices for the Olivia Rodrigo concert. And she's like 18 and been in the music business for like 2 years, maybe 3.
But see, like, guys, I'm 50. I'm about to turn 50 years old. And we used to have a venue here in Nashville called Starwood Amphitheater. Okay. And I grew up in an era where I could go see the greats with a lawn seat and pay $25. I got to see Billy Joel, Van Halen, Def Leppard. I mean, you just roll the scroll on all the greats coming out of the 80s and 90s. I got to see them all for no more than $25.
Wow.
Great
and
seats,
Jim,
perfect
and
audio.
Jim snuck me into half those shows. No.
I did.
Put in the trunk? You just put him in the trunk and rode in, and then
I was
had
a tiny little person. Like like Jim knew all the like bouncers.
I knew everybody.
Stuff, so he would just be like, "Hey, he's coming in with me." So
look at us being diverse in our podcast here today. This is great.
So I don't know if y'all know about me. I was actually in several different rock bands for about almost 20 years. So yeah. You can find the last 2 albums I did that I was on, I was a drummer, and the last couple albums that I performed on are on like Spotify, Apple Music, everything, pretty much every platform that's out there. The name of the band is the Tragedy Kings, and the last album was Evolution.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up, or after the show, I'm going to go check those out. I see everybody says, oh, we can't have a Star Wars podcast. You run out of stuff to talk about. And then here we are talking about Olivia Rodrigo, sneaking people into concerts, Lady Gaga, Madrid, Spain. We're hitting it all.
I'm just so worried about Matt that I drive alone past his street. It's an Olivia Rodrigo song. She's a stalker.
I got it.
Wow, that went just.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you're
I
too
have a
old.
segue. I
Yes.
have a segue.
Bring it.
I really think that Lady Gaga in one of the future Star Wars movies should be a character in one of the Cantina bands. That's what I think.
That would be hilarious.
I have no problem with that. I really don't.
If we're going with Lady Gaga here, do you know what really famous television show she was on as a teenager?
I didn't even know she was on TV.
No.
Yep, she was on The Sopranos for one episode.
Get out of here!
What?
Wait, no, wait.
Mhm.
Wait. I'm a Soprano fan. I don't remember this at all. Was she just like a background character?
She was in the group of teenagers when AJ and his friends broke into the high school
Mhm.
and broke the trophy case and trashed the teachers' offices.
Okay, see now I got to go back and
I gotta go
binge
back and
watch
watch
all the Sopranos this weekend now because of that.
That's happening starting tomorrow.
Yep.
back.
This is how we work.
Yeah.
You know, little things like this happen, and then my
go back
weekend
and
is
watch.
now scheduled.
Oh yeah.
See,
Gotta
but
go back and watch.
I think she deserves something more than just a background
Me
Cantina
too.
singer. I think that like she has some chops. I mean, I need to watch the movie. I didn't watch it, but I watched clips of and what Shallow, whatever that was.
Oh, Stars
and
Born.
she-
Oh, dude,
Yeah. That's a great
she was
movie.
phenomenal.
She's in another one that's got some previews coming out. Like I think she's got more chops than just being a background character. She's kind of got some Sith vibes. She's got
Okay.
some like
Oh, yeah.
dark side energy vibes.
Okay.
And I could see her being in like I don't know.
Hmm. Maybe she could be a Dathomirian. She could be with
She could
Assad's
be a witch.
interest. Yeah.
Me
Okay.
like you.
Okay.
Like you.
She could be your Mara Jade as well.
Oh yeah.
You got to put a wig on her, but she could be your Mara Jade as well.
Yeah. I could do that.
Right now, they could put that character any which way they want, right? I mean, it could
Yeah.
be anybody because it's not going to follow along with what we remember from the books. It's going to be its own new thing
Yeah. Right.
if that ever happens. So, hey, real quick, before we get into other stuff, I'm going to keep being diverse here. If you haven't, go check out Snickers has a new deal with almost all NFL teams for the NFL.
It's not all
season.
NFL teams. I guarantee you that the Steelers, they're going to be like the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Eagles,
No.
maybe the 49ers. There's probably like 12 teams that they're marketing.
I believe Joey said
that.
like 20 plus of the teams have this deal going on, but Joey's actually doing work for the NFL and Snickers. I got my first Snickers Steelers bar.
So
right
I think
Yeah.
I could see them doing all the teams and like those be available at all the stadiums for all the fans to get while they're there,
Ooh.
but only a select few getting national distribution.
Well, you
Like,
have
it's
to
just-
buy a box. They send you a box of them to your house.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
custom. Okay.
yeah. So just in case you want to check that out, fans, go check that
And I'm
out.
telling you, all of the custom stuff that they sell, Joe. Like, do you remember those like the Sky magazines, like where you would like buy like they on the plane? They used to have them, the Sky catalogs. They would market like golf tees, and they'd be like NFL teams, and it would be like 12 teams that they know that like were the super popular teams, and it'd be like get your team's logo on the golf ball. There would be like the same 12 golf balls. Like, there's only certain ones that places will make because those are the ones that sell. The Atlanta Falcons are going to be hard to find.
You know what?
Outside of Atlanta.
Real quick, Matt and Jim, I will tell you, we're going to keep segueing to the NFL a little bit. We know you guys are Titans fans,
Yep.
but Brent, Alfie, D-Doc, and myself all joined into a fantasy football league for this year as a group. We got some of our listeners, some of our friends, D-Doc's brother, Tom Lyon, Ryan Massengale, former host of the show. They're all part of it. My wife joined in, so her team's name is Leia's Playas. Yeah, I'm Rex in effect, taking Captain Rex and the old rap. Was that a rapper Rex in effect?
It was a group.
As a group. There we go. But we're really
right?
excited.
Yes.
Yes. So we're happy with that. We're having fun. So the NFL season is going to have a little bit extra motivation for all of us. And Lori was, as D-Doc joins us here, Lori was stealing Eagles players and fan
snipe
favorite
like 3.
from D-Doc and his brother.
D-Doc went on tilt. D-Doc went on tilt and made an auto draft pick because he couldn't contain himself because she sniped one from him.
Yeah, I ran out of time, and it's
Full of Minnesota Vikings.
It auto picked that one, and then my next pick, I was like, I had my pick ready, who was there, and it automatically kept me on auto pick because it did that one freaking time.
Oh gosh,
I sense some resentment there, D-Doc. I sense your anger.
Joe's wife
he was on draft tilt.
She was sniping picks, and I'm not even exaggerating. It was like I would just have guys like lined up, and it was like boom, gone, boom, gone. She was on fire. I give her all the credit for it.
My wife she quit fantasy football for 10 years because she got so tired of yelling at the TV for people she had no interest in at all except for fantasy. And then this year when I was like, hey, we need one more to fill this league we're in, she's like, I'm in. And they were all afraid we were going to cheat. You know, Alfie's sitting there saying, I'm sensing collusion between Joe and his wife. And she's like, F that. I want to beat Joe. She's like, the heck with that. Yeah.
That sounds like something people who are colluding would say.
Right? I mean, there's seriously, it's collusion. And if you haven't watched it, Joe, this is actually coming from one of the greatest television series of all time, called The League, and it was all about fantasy football.
That show was hilarious. I totally forgot about that show.
That's where the collusion came from.
Mass said that he's going to call Lori Jenny the whole season because of The League. So, yeah. Anyway, hey, D-Doc is here. D-Doc, we've gone around and said hey to everybody. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Bit of a late day today. Had to eat something fast, so I went with the microwave White Castle burgers.
Oh,
always a good choice.
I just scarfed down 4 of those burgers before I hopped on here.
You make you make good choices today, friend. You make good choices.
Yes.
All of you need to go to food hell right now because that just is just vomit on a plate.
No, I'm saying that sarcastically. And at 10 o'clock, he's going to be regretting
No. As soon as this show is over, we all know what D-Doc is doing the rest of the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why do people eat these? Everyone who talks about it says this. Why do you subject yourself to this torture?
Listen, I
take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
When I eat White Castle, when I eat Taco Bell, I'm fine, man. It's when I start eating healthy foods that we start to have some problems. So I'll be good.
Wow.
My problem is Febreze cannot take that. That's my problem.
Fantastic.
Extra fresh.
Yeah. You just need a high-powered bathroom fan. That's all. Maybe
my wife has completely ruled out White Castle. Yeah. Hey, my son Joey turned 31 yesterday. That's how old I am. My kid is turning 31. You know what I got him for his birthday? A bidet.
A bidet? Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow. He likes to spend his time in the bathroom. His wife always says, "Joey, my gosh!" And I said, "Joey, I got you. Does
it go up to 11?
So
big bottom.
Is it a separate or is it an attachment onto the toilet?
It's an attachment. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a separate bowl. It's not like the French style bidet.
He didn't get the bougie bidet.
No.
Is he going to do the install, Joe, or are you going to? What's the story with it?
The great thing is that tomorrow, Saturday, I'm supposed to watch my wife and I are supposed to watch his kids while he goes to a wedding that he's in. And so I've already told him that on Saturday I will install it. And I said, Joey, I'm just going to let you know the first go round, it's a little shocking. A little surprising, but after that you start going, oh yeah, okay, right. I can deal with this. So his wife actually was like, great gift. She's like, I'm so tired of him tearing up the bathroom. Let's go. Let's just get that. Anyway, we go down weird rabbit holes here, guys. Sorry. That's just what we do.
That's what we do. So my brain is a constant rabbit hole of just garbage going on.
Yeah,
so
you bring up a day, and I got 22 questions in my head. So I'm trying to let it go into the.
Oh, dude, sincerely, my brain was instantly like, "What brand? Where do you get it from? Do you get it from Lowe's, Home Depot?" I mean,
I was gonna be like, "Are you gonna try it first? Make sure it's testing right."
I might break it in.
He's doing the install. He's breaking it in.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh, but there's another question that I do have, because he said that the first one is shocking to the system. So do you own your own bidet at the moment?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I've had a bidet now for like 10 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Once you go with a bidet, D-Doc's nodding his head. He knows what I'm talking about. Once you go with a bidet, you're like, it's really hard to go back. You know the what's his name on American Pie, Shipbreak? Is that his name?
Yeah. Shipbreak.
Where you got to go to your home for your comfort level. Well, once you get a bidet,
the home team advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now you're like, I can't go out here when I've got that at home. So yes, I'm used to the home team, the home playing field. Yeah. Man, our ratings are really going to dump after this show.
Quite literally.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Hey, Matt, positive news. Married man now. Well, tell us about this. The nuptials this year.
Oh yeah, I got married in June, and we just bought our first house in Westmoreland, Tennessee. So we're having some renovations done, and we're leaving Saturday for Universal. So hopefully all the renovations will be done by the time we get back and we can move in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you, Universal? You've got the Harry Potter. You get the both theme parks going. The whole thing.
Going to do it up.
It's the only way to do it, man.
Yeah.
The only way to do Universal.
Are you going? Are you doing VIP and getting like the VIP access and all that jazz? Or are you going to go single rider line?
Oh no. See, I'm broke as a joke, so we're going to do the waiting 2 hours for each ride thing. Yeah. Now we did up it for the park to park.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't do the VIP. Yeah. If you want to chip into my GoFundMe account,
I'll pass.
I've done the express passes to get just the line skips thing. I've done that. I've never done the VIP tour. If there's a VIP tour, they do a backstage tour of every ride, and then you go straight onto the ride and skip everybody. And I've never done that one. That's super crazy expensive.
Going to Universal, the only thing I was going to say is I think you can save that $300 and just go single rider line if you're willing to go single rider line, because it's just as fast and you can save that money. So, I mean, you do get stuck with, I don't know, the random family, but I feel like it's just as fast.
Oh man. Okay, so I got a funny story that you said that. I went to Universal years and years ago, and I was literally like 360 pounds, right? Like this was at my biggest, and wow. This was back in the day when they didn't care how fat you were, right? So I got on the Mummy ride, and I don't know if y'all have ridden the Mummy ride, but it's just a click, click, click back to you. Okay, so they put the smallest kid next to me.
Oh, no way.
A big old dude. And
it's one bar, right? It's one bar. So it's hitting on your belly, but he's not even near locked in.
All right. But so I feel so bad that this little tiny kid's next to me. I do this thing where I shift my fat up and sit over so that the thing can come in. Oh my God! That
only us true fat people can understand. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Was it Brian? The lady had to hold on to something and then kick the bar onto him.
Yeah. Back in the day, they would literally just.
I had that happen to me one time on Six Flags Magic Mountain, but then it wouldn't latch, so I had to get off. I've told this story, I think, on this before, but it was the Superman ride on Six Flags Magic Mountain, which basically just goes straight up and straight back down.
Yep.
Same concept. They tried to jab it, and they're doing 5 minutes worth of work, and I'm like, fine, I'll get up. I got up, and it locked in for my buddy, so I'm like, all right, I'll ride the next one. They fire it off. unload the ride, bring me out by myself. Do that. I've sat in the same seat all the way to the left, and it closed and locked fine. So I'm like, okay, they're going to release these and bring out the rest of the ride. No, they walked over, fired the button off, and my fat ass was the only one on the ride when they shot it off.
Oh wow!
And I'm not a huge, I'm like, okay, they'll like let other people on, but there must be like some sort of safety thing because they were like by myself.
Now, now, Brent, were you yelling "I'm Superman" during your solo ride?
No, I was just like, what the
hell? Wow.
You're just like, I'm sorry, I didn't ask for this.
I got the VIP experience because I was fat, but like that.
Holy cow.
Oh man.
Wow. Hey, D-Doc, Jim. Yeah, and I've been to D-Doc's house, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I messed around with his drum set. It was like Step Brothers. He told me if I mess with him, he'd kill me and jab me in the neck with one of the drumsticks. But Jim actually was in a band, and he's actually the Tragedy Kings
was the band. That was
the drummer.
That was the last band that I toured with, and the album is all over everywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, Google, everywhere. So
nice.
And yeah, D-Doc was a drummer back when he was a long-haired skateboard guy. You know, he was a drummer as well. So
yeah, my 2-year-old daughter was actually down here the other day and picked up the sticks and sat down at the set. And my older two, I have a 7-year-old and a 6-year-old. They play and they can play, like they can mess around with it. My 2-year-old though got on it, and she was like, she just had it. Like for a 2-year-old, don't get me wrong, like it's not perfect, but I saw it and I was just like, oh my God, we might have a drum prodigy here. I'm like, she's keeping rhythm right now, and she doesn't even care. She's rolling through, hitting cymbals. Like I was like, okay, this is gonna have to be a weekly experience. So she'll probably be better than me down the line.
That's fantastic. I'm this close to getting my wife to buy me the ones from Ant-Man where you put the headphones on and you do that, because I said I've never played drums before and I'm going to learn how to do it. And she was like, I am not having a full drum set in this house. And D-Doc, after seeing him in your house, she was like, don't even think about it. But I was like, well, let me do the Ant-Man thing. Let me sit there and just go to town and you'll never hear a thing.
You know, Joe, I have an electric drum set in my closet that now that my real one is here, I really, maybe we could arrange something.
Just saying.
I could,
maybe in Tennessee. Yeah.
It's very quiet, the electric drum set. That's why we had it. I was in a condo, neighbors close. So I had the urge to play still. So the electric drum set.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Alfie, do you play any instruments?
The piano a little bit.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I know how to play the guitar, but not like Eddie Van Halen or anything, but
So Matt is really good at, guitar and piano and stuff. Our brother Brian makes us so sick. Yeah. He's a prodigy. He can we used to walk through Guitar Center all the time. He would pick up everything. It doesn't matter what it is. He would pick up anything and rock it out. He even got on a DJ board. I've never seen the man DJ in his life. He got on a DJ board and made it sound freaking phenomenal. I was like, do you sit around and just, is this what you do? You don't sleep. You just sit around and learn stuff all the time.
I challenged him one time and I bought him one of those stylophones. Y'all know what those things are?
Yep.
Where you have the little pencil and it's the magnetic sound and whatever from the 80s. I was like, look, if you can make it something out of that, and he just sat there and he played the Beverly Hills Cop theme. He's like, nee, 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 nee. I'm like, you're a jerk. I hate your face.
When he picked up the guitar, did he start to play Stairway and the guy come over and say, no Stairway?
No Stairway.
Oh, we all do that. We all do that. Yeah.
Yep, we all do that.
If you hear Stairway and you don't like, if you're not a Wayne's
everybody knows it's a joke. Everybody in the store knows it's a joke. So, and they all laugh.
As you guys saw, Brown Leader, Hyperspace Heroes.
Yeah, Hyperspace Heroes. Shout out, boys.
Some of our good friends, again, from ICCC. We're going to talk to them before we head down there. We'll have a chat with them as we're pumping up and getting ready to go down that way. So I know we've talked about it. We can talk about tons of other stuff, but while we're on that, We're what a little over a month and
Yeah.
a week
Month.
from
Yeah.
ICCC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. We are. It's countdown, baby. It is go time.
Yeah, man.
And back in the place we were 2 years ago, back in that hotel, correct?
That is correct. We're back in the Music City Sheraton Hotel. And so going back to that, more intimate feel. We're going to think through, the next larger venue a little bit more. I mean, that the fairgrounds last year were really fun. But they presented a whole lot of challenges that we really didn't think through. So, it was so much fun. Having the helicopter was a blast. That was awesome. Got a lot of great feedback on that. But so, I don't know. There was a lot of challenges that we faced with that venue. So, we decided to go back to our home. And because, we know what we're working with. We know how to stage that up right. And
Sure.
so, and everybody always loves it. We're going to do some, different things this year. The hallways they're not going to have tables in the hallways. So they're not as going to be as much crowding. People will be able to move around a whole lot easier. Doing a little bit more things with, lines for autographs and photos and stuff like that. So, everything should be, there's be some more organization this year, so be even tighter than we've had it in the past. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, man. We're going to have some great interviews in the podcast room this year. It's going to be just freaking phenomenal.
Your list of people this year is really, really cool. Lots of cool original trilogy people. You've got some bounty hunters. You've got Brandon Wayne, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be there. Plus, the big one for me is Lando, Billy D. I'm so
here's
pumped.
the thing, guys. Y'all have had the experience.
Yep.
Y'all have been in the rooms with me. You know how it always is. Sometimes there's some of the bigger names we don't get. Sometimes, for whatever reason, whatever. This is the first year. Nobody's turned us down. Everybody's coming in our room this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
With the whole going back to the Sheraton, I just feel like it's just very nostalgic. So like we know where everything is, and what do you say? Yeah, Wayne Rand.
Thank you, Hyperspace.
There'll be some extra chairs maybe. But no, like we were talking about this the other day. ICCC. If you're coming for the Star Wars guests and everything, that's amazing. Bring your stuff, bring everything to get it signed.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we were talking about what kind of like environment this place is when it comes to what you're a fan of, and if you've always wanted to be a fan of something, this is the place to come. Like, have you ever wondered, like you watch, okay, so I'm gonna throw out some, popular things like Star Trek, Star Wars, Aliens, whatever. You're a Halo fan, all these things. And you've always like had this sense of, man, I love all these nerdy things, and I'd like want to find that community. This is the place to come and find your community. There's so many fandoms that show up. You have a whole room just dedicated to fandoms. Like, I didn't even know there was an Aliens community, and then they had that table there where they had all the prop stuff from Aliens and all this, and Predator. There's a Predator community. Obviously Star Wars or Star Trek. There's just so many communities that show up. There's cosplay groups that show up. If you're into cosplay but you don't know how to get into it, come up here and talk at some tables, get some information, grab a slip, join a group. Man, nobody's going to turn you down. It's just,
nope.
I love the environment that ICCC presents, man.
That's the one thing I really love about it too, is it doesn't matter what you're looking. If you're a newbie and you want to get into something, there is a family of people here who will help you. That's what the IC was. That was the foundation of the IC, was to build a community, to protect the people who don't maybe want to get into collecting these things but don't really know everything. So let's build a community. Let's teach people how the ins and outs, keep them safe. Don't buy repro. People, there's bad people in every group out there, so we want to make sure everybody's safe, buys the real stuff. But it doesn't matter what it is. If you want to get in on cosplay, there are people there who will walk you through the whole process. The 501st, they have a plan, and it's all based on budget. I mean, do you not have a whole lot of money? Well, we got a plan for you. Do you have like a huge amount of money sitting around you want to blow? We got that for you too. If you want to look like somebody right off the Star Wars screen, we got that for you. So, I mean, it's just amazing.
And like people like Philip Clark with the Tennessee Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
When you go over and look at their table, it is so intimidating. And of how they like create these things, but they have like meetup groups on starting out. Like your minimum thing is just to have the coverall, like that's your minimal entrance way. And you could just buy those on Amazon, and then they show you how to build everything else.
Yep.
Like they meet up and do groups and build all this other stuff, and now you're a part of the Tennessee Ghostbusters. It's amazing.
I just did a show with a gentleman from London, Mark Mulcaster. He's on Fantha Tracks, a great podcast out of England. And he's in the 501st, Rebel Legion, Mando Mercs, all those things there. And then Rick Prince, who's with the 501st here in Central, I believe in Central Tennessee. Yep. And Rick and myself and Mark went for an hour plus because I just enjoyed meeting Rick so much the very first time I was there at the hotel, and he was Darth Maul when I met him, and so I've kept in touch with him since, and he's been on our show a few times. Just a great guy. And then to have Mark also on, getting a point of view from England, hearing all the things they do, you just see how much passion, how much energy these people put into those groups. And you're right. Some of them are like, hey, you want to be a part of it? Great. You don't want to go all out with the costume and everything. You can help us be behind the scenes, still be a part, still get the 501st shirt or whatever, and you could just do paperwork or planning or structure. And so it's a really cool thing, no matter what level you want to get involved, right? And Rick was like, because he asked me what I would do, and I was like, if I wasn't a Jedi, I'd probably be a speeder biker scout, right? And he said, I've got an extra one of those helmets sitting here. He's like, so if you're coming to ICCC, he goes, I might. And I'm like, oh crap, what am I getting myself into? But I mean, yeah, I love you guys have that, and going to the side of things, like Alfie and I are kind of almost the dumpster divers for Star Wars toys, right? Like we like the high end if we can find them, but at the same time, we're the guys who are like, oh, look, I got that $4 beater right over there of that character that I like, right? Yeah. And you guys had different vendors who you could just dig through boxes and find the characters you liked, or you had the people who were like, this is $1,800 for this guy right here, And so there is something all the way in between. And then D-Doc and I have talked about it a ton. Some of the artists you have there, and I hope you're going to have some of them back again this year, but some of the artists you've had in the last few years, I bought artwork that are I've got a playroom for my grandkids right next to us, and all their art is around the walls in there because it's so cool, and it doesn't all fit in my office here. But so I think you have a wide variety of stuff, and that's not even including, let's face it, guys, Brent, Alfie, we Timothy's on, Anna Graves, I'm thinking of the people the first year who we met, but there were plenty of people that we interacted with and met. And then last year we got to meet Vanessa Marshall, and the Emperor, Ian
McDermott.
Ian McDermott. I mean, Femi Taylor. So you're sitting there going, holy cow, this little organization here, this little convention, it's not little, I say that compared to like Celebration, but this one event right here has not only got us all interacting and becoming friends, and people like Rick Prince and things like that, but then you see the different people, Hyperspace Heroes, who we've all connected with now, and it's really becoming a nice little community. What you guys have built, what Michael's built, what you guys have built. So really pumped about where it's going to go in the future.
Absolutely. Reunited, and it feels so good.
D-Doc, real quick, D-Doc, tell them the story about when that last year was your first year there, And I said, hey,
last year was your first year?
Well, ours was 2 years ago, but D-Dog.
No, but D-Dog, yeah.
I couldn't make it to the first one because I had to be, having a child at the time. So that's why I couldn't make it to the
Okay,
first
of
one.
all the excuses, it's pretty good. Pretty good one.
It is.
It's a pretty good one.
I remember
I was booked to go out, and then I canceled it last minute because she was starting to have some, pregame contractions and stuff. And she was like, you can still go. And I'm just like, I can't be at a Star Wars convention in Tennessee knowing that you're having a kid.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was
one
of
our kids. Yeah.
It was great because D-Doc, Alfie and I are in there. We're camped out. We're right next to Hyperspace Heroes. We're all ready to go, right? And we're telling him, hey, D-Doc, you might want to get there early because it's going to be really hard to get in. He's like, yeah, cool. Gotcha. And what were you saying outside, D-Doc? What?
Oh my God, it was insane. Me and Early are complete strangers. That's one thing. And yeah, me and my brother, we were Ubering back and forth there actually, which every Uber we got from the city to that venue, every Uber driver was nuts. They were like flying. It was crazy. But yeah, we pulled up there and the line just wrapped all the way around that venue. So luckily I was able to get in with the badge, but man, it was no joke. The people that showed out for it last year, it was pretty crazy.
Another cool thing too is you never know what you're going to see at these auctions. Usually every year, I think they're coming back this year, but Hake's Auctions usually comes to the show. In the first year we did ICCC, they brought a rocket firing Boba Fett, like one of the most coveted Star Wars collectible items, one of the prototypes, super rare, can hardly find them. That year, they did the auction, like it was both in person and remote bidders. They did the auction and it sold that year for $225,000. And I don't know if y'all saw recently in the headlines, one just went at auction for $1.3 million.
That makes me sick. I'm like, I don't even understand. I love Star Wars toys, but holy cow!
Just think about how much of a genius that guy feels like, right? I could pay. I got a $225,000 investment. 6 years later, it's now $1.3 million.
Holy cow! Yeah, speaking of lines and stuff, the security at ICCC is next level. You wouldn't think, dude. You wouldn't think that security at this size event would be this secure, but you have Marines and Rangers and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so the guy who's
part of the security team.
So we all of our regular crew, the guy that usually leads our crew, it can't be there this year, but his second in command is going to take it over, and he's a head honcho at the Department of Homeland Security. I think we're good.
Oh yeah, man.
I think we're good. And everybody's like a SEAL or a Ranger or it's insane. You are so protected at this convention. Yeah. It is insane.
Yeah, mercenaries, man. You pay them well enough, you're gonna stay.
I still have my badge sitting here on the table. That was my closest to Wayne's World moment because I saw that line and I just said to my brother, I was like, you know what, bro? I was like, I never have this on me. Let's try it. I walked up and I was just like, and they're just like, go ahead. And went through security right in.
But you know what's even cooler about them? That they're all these badasses and super good at what they do. They're all collectors too. Every stinking one of them.
So Brent is not, as we all know, Brent is into Star Wars Legion. He doesn't really buy the toys. So Brent, would you say for a guy like you who's not going in there looking for maybe the artwork or maybe looking for the collector's figures or whatever thing, do you find, you were there 2 years ago, did you find that there were still things in there that caught your interest or that you were intrigued by?
That's a good question.
Outside of, obviously the podcast room where these guests are coming in and watching these interviews, but.
So I like to tell the story, and you've heard me tell it on the podcast, but I'm going to have to tell it on the podcast. We roll up with our good friend Nick Shesky, and park in the Music City parking lot on Friday during VIP day and trying to get our passes and whatnot. As soon as we get out of the car, we get there probably about 11 o'clock. So I think doors open at 12 on VIP day, something like that. We get out of the car. There's a gentleman walking past our vehicle wearing a Jedi robe and a plastic lightsaber. And he's like, "Is this where the convention's at?" And Nick Shesky looks at us and says, "I've never felt more with my people in my life." And we'd been there for maybe 10 seconds. So it was it's a fantastic story. I am a people watcher. I watch the cosplay. I also like to talk a little bit if I'm in the right mood and the right mindset.
Yeah.
So you will also find, I think somebody said it, I don't know if it's your podcast, I think it might have been Michael Havens, but when you're 44 years old, you don't really find friends all that often.
Correct.
And you can walk up to somebody, and it's because we have the shared interest that starts it off. But
yeah, absolutely.
And for the most part, 99% of these people are going to be Star Wars fans. So it's like you know them because they have that shared interest to start off with. Yep. So it started off slow in the room. But I hopped on talking to you guys and Micah, talking about fuel usage in Star Wars.
That's one of my favorite things. Oh my God, it's so good.
That's one of Micah's hot button issues. Right there.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
so we needled him a little bit, but so from then on it was just whatever. So what is the draw? I like looking at the toys. I am never gonna find the disposable income to have anything near what some of those toys are worth and what their value is. I enjoyed playing with them as a kid, but just being around and seeing the cosplayers, talking to people. The cosplayers really love when you actually one of my favorite games is at Halloween is trying to figure out the costumes. So, and the cosplayers really dig it when you're trying and you interact with them and you talk to them about their outfits as well. But it's people watching really.
Well, and one of our favorites, I didn't even mention it. We use her as a promo for the show, Lone Mandalorian. She does a great Chiss, and she does a great Mandalorian, friend of the show.
She's scary as shit.
Yeah, the red eyes will kill you, man. She's great at what she does.
She's intense. It is intense. Yeah. It's scary intense. Fantastic.
If you're not watching her on Instagram,
she's a gorgeous individual.
Yeah.
And scary as shit with those red eyes.
I'm going to share that video after the show. I'm going to post it out right after this in the comments because we've got her saying, "I'm going to rule the galaxy," and she does it awesome. It's just an awesome video clip.
Nice.
So, Alfie, how about you? When you're looking at this overall, not only the guests and everything else, what do you pull from this event that we've gone through the last few years?
I think there's a lot to pull from. I mean, the people that we've met, the opportunities we've got to interview people, like Brent said, just being able to people watch, interact with other fans. I talked to Timothy Zahn for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
gosh,
is he not the coolest dude? I mean,
he was great.
So approachable.
Mark Thompson and him both there this year. That's going to be freaking incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alf. Sorry.
Everyone knows that I love toys, so I like the ability to be able to find, something high end, and then also in the same day to go through tons of boxes looking for, I'm a sucker for the 5 for $20 boxes. That's just my weakness. If you've got 10 of them, I'm going to go through every one of them trying to find something good.
Oh man.
Yeah. Everybody's been great there. And I brought up Mark Thompson. He's been on our show, 4 times now, guys? And he has been such a great person to deal with on the podcast. Whenever I've said, "Hey, do you have time?" He always makes time for us. And then to see that he's done a show already with Timothy Zahn recently. I saw him on social media posting that. But to have them both there coming up, if you're a fan of the Thrawn trilogy, of those kind of things, how can you not want to be in the room when they're in there talking about that stuff? The guy who you feel like embodies the voice and the guy who created that character all at the same time.
Yep.
Just a fantastic fantastic thing to see. Looking forward to that.
So first day of the con, Thursday. The only two shows scheduled in the room that day are Kim Simmons, then Timothy Zahn.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to see or talk to Kim. He wasn't at his booth last year.
Oh, he's going to be in our room this year. So
yeah, so that would be a great one. He's a very influential person when it comes to the Kenner stuff right there.
Yes, he is.
What did y'all think of the Thrawn in the Ahsoka show?
I'll let these guys start.
Uh-oh.
I need my boy Brent. Bring it, Brent. Bring it, buddy. You always bring the good stuff.
Come on,
I don't know if it's the good stuff. So here's the deal. Like, I found the books after starting the podcast. So watching the pod, like, I was never a reader. And I still haven't read the books. I listened to Mark Thompson read me the books, right? so I had the audio version of the books. So to me, Thrawn isn't this all-knowing tactician, godlike, evil villain that I think that there are people that see him as.
Yeah.
To me, he stares at a painting and he knows how to beat the rebels because he stares at a painting. Seems way too far fucking fetched. Sorry for the language. So I want you to all of everything I'm going to say about Thrawn is going to be taken with that from that perspective. I have only known Thrawn from the 3 original trilogy books. I did not get into the 2 subsequent books about his life, or what are the two subsequent trilogies? Yeah, right. He's got 9 books about him. I only know the 3
and Rebels,
but again, like, for whatever reason, I just don't remember him from those later seasons of Rebels. Okay. For whatever reason, like, it wasn't something that I latched onto. He wasn't a character.
Alfie or T-Doc, what do you guys when it came to Thrawn? I
haven't answered the question. I just had to give you the background.
Oh, I thought you were going there. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, basically what I was going to say was I had no problem with what he was in the show because I have no previous background. The only thing that I do think is based upon the cartoon, he was a little bit heftier than he was in the cartoon.
Yeah.
And that's all I got for you.
It's an animated series.
It's a cartoon.
The lightsabers are skinnier in that cartoon as well, though. So
yeah.
Everything's skinnier in the cartoon.
There we go. Alfie or D-Dot?
Alfie has way more context on this than me. I'm going to let Alfie go.
Seeing him in live action, it was like not quite to the scale of, let's say, the Infinity Gauntlet, finally being on screen, that storyline. But it was pretty amazing to me to finally see that after so long and building up that character in my head. Was it 100% Thrawn? No, I think he would have had the Star Destroyer ready, and it wouldn't have taken so long. But then again, that's TV. It needed a plot point, so I get that. I was okay with it. I liked it. I liked it better than the Rebels cartoon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm still always going to have the opinion that if you're going to do Heir to the Empire, just fucking do Heir to the Empire. Don't try to pick little pieces of it here and there and make a new thing. Because it'll never be as good as the original.
After D-Doc, I'm going to build on what Alfie just said.
Go ahead, D-Doc.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was looking mostly at the visuals. I don't know Thrawn as well as everyone. To me, he's like this mythic character just from hearing everyone else talk about him. I thought it looked pretty good as far as Disney Plus standards go, just because I think visually sometimes Disney Plus just doesn't look great with what they do sometimes. And I thought he looked really good. I thought his eyes, which is one of the most important parts, looked really good. So I was impressed with it. So I keep I keep burping a little bit. Those White Castle burgers. I keep muting my
Starting
mic.
to percolate a little
Again,
bit.
I
We're
might
an
get
hour early.
Again,
We're an
you-
hour early. It's
You are
building.
not selling. You are not selling White Castle to any of the
The
listeners.
burps taste good, Brent. The burps taste good,
That
and
does
I'm
not
all right.
sound-
The gift that
That's-
keeps on giving.
That is
Sorry, I sidetracked us after that, but
You're
yeah,
good.
I thought he looked good from a guy who's like
All right.
least Thrawn knowledge in this room, probably.
All right. Matt's going to have a really in-depth opinion, but
Okay.
just
Yes. All right. So when I first got into Star Wars as a child, of course I watched the original trilogy, but the first two things I read were Shadows of the Empire and Heir to the Empire. And so I got a taste of Thrawn early on in my life. So I kind of followed Thrawn. Now, when you get to see him in, the animated series, I was like, okay, I kind of felt like they didn't do him justice. Like he had a cool voice, he looked cool, and his hands are behind his back, like always. Like he's just a cocky guy, like kind of like Grand Moff Tarkin. Like he makes mistakes. Thrawn doesn't make mistakes. It's almost like you could take one's blue, one's not. One makes mistakes and doesn't own it. The other guy just doesn't make mistakes. Okay, so when I finally get to see a real life version of Thrawn, as soon as I saw him, has anybody seen? I think I might be getting the movie wrong. I think it's called "Can't Hardly Wait" with the old guy with the Christmas song. He sings that song. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes.
Yeah,
I
I know. What
swear to God, I was like, it's that guy who's blue, and he just drinks. He's drinking beer. Like I felt like gravity got a hold of this guy. I'm like, I know he's an older Thrawn. Obviously, we're later on in his life, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I couldn't take him seriously, and the show didn't give enough context on this Thrawn anyway. He was just trying to escape from where he was. So like, and you have the zombie stormtroopers too, but I was not sold. And I'm like with Alfie, like if you're gonna do Heir to the Empire, why are you skating around with Old Man Winter dressed in, painted up blue as a Thrawn? I'm not sold. I didn't get the cockiness that Thrawn is supposed to be. I didn't get the evilness. Like he is supposed to be pure evil, like just hidden behind genius. So it's almost like a Bond villain, painted blue. And I didn't get that. I didn't even get that from Rebels, honestly. I kind of feel like they're softening up Thrawn from what he really is to be accepted by children. Yes, that's it. That's it right there.
That's from Big Fat Liar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Matt? I'm gonna say this. I felt from the very beginning when Disney started getting involved with Thrawn that they were going to do their best to somehow twist it and turn it to where, just like Agent Callus, at some point in time he would flip and use his mastermind to help whatever part of the rebels or the Republic or whatever, and they would flip him. That's just what it felt like.
Yes.
But when I saw him in Ahsoka, I don't know. I think because when I found the Zahn trilogy, I was like, that Darth Vader when he walks into the ship at the beginning of A New Hope and puts his hands on his hips and looks around. I felt like Thrawn wasn't a perfect replacement for that when this came about, but they did such a great job to say, okay, this guy is not the Force. He's not going to chop you down with a lightsaber, but his mind is his weapon and his tactical stuff is his weapon, and he's now going to replace Vader as a upper echelon enemy. And I thought they did a really good job of that in the books, but I think they've kind of tailed off with that since then. So, Alpha, you were going to say something.
Yeah, just to expand on what you're saying, that was a big part of his character in the book. The part where Luke escaped their destroyer in the tractor beam, and the operator had failed And Thrawn goes to him and asks him, what was your reasoning on what you did? And he explained it. And then he promoted him instead of killing him. He's like, Zahn used that to say, hey, this isn't Vader.
Right.
He was willing to, yes, you failed, but you showed, a real initiative to solve a problem. It didn't work out, but people with that ability we need to promote, not kill.
So, it's all about presentation, okay? When you're introducing these higher level characters. And they gave themselves the roadmap. I mean, you have, Mandalorian season 2 finale. You got the Luke you always wanted to see. Rogue One, at the end, you got the Vader you always wanted to see. I mean, it's just that badass, and it's in their own right, okay? It's that Vader level of evil. It's that Luke level of just badassery walking down there. And it's all of it has to do with walking in the hallway. I don't understand that, but it's just it's all in the way it's presented, okay? And for some reason, Disney keeps failing miserably when they bring in these new characters to understand their own roadmap. It's like Marvel. I go back and I just point out to Marvel. Marvel wrote the roadmap. They built the blueprints for making billion-dollar movies and then threw them in the trash.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why? Why did you do that?
Is Jim a regular on our show? He sounds very much like things I've heard.
Oh, brothers,
I love it.
Y'all don't know the half of it. I'm like, Disney is so Disney-ing everything, and it's showing through pure failure. Okay, this was going to be a segue earlier, but I was going to say, look, for anybody who loved Acolyte and hated Acolyte, you're going to be safe at ICCC. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
I despised Acolyte. I thought this was everything that's wrong with Disney touching Star Wars. I thought it had some good points, but I was like, it was almost like a test tube Star Wars show. Like, let's see what we can get away with and who likes it. And obviously it failed because they canceled the show. And it was boring. It was just enough Star Wars to where I was like, okay, you want to, like me and my son, like, you want to watch the next one? Yeah, let's watch the next one. You want to watch the next one? Okay, let's watch the next one. I finished the show. And I'm never going to, with any fan, if you loved Acolyte, God bless. Not every Star Wars is for every Star Wars fan. Like, we can go through the original trilogy. There are some people that love the new stuff will hate the old stuff, and vice versa. And prequel trilogy. We could go into, I'm sure everyone here can go through every single thing, and we can find that thing we hate, like fuel, Micah, and find that thing we hate. But like Acolyte, I didn't get. And then like what y'all were saying with, we finally got the Darth Vader we wanted in Rogue One. We finally got the Luke. I think Disney is dependent on those moments instead of the whole thing. Like, I am not at all excited about Skeleton Crew. Of course I'm going to watch it, but I'm like, they're just creating these things, and I'm like, you could totally do what DC is doing with animated movies, which are all gold because it's just going to the comics and making the comics into movies. That's all they're doing, and we're buying every little bit of it. I love it. It's like they're not changing anything. We're getting a visualization of what we read as kids. And I think Disney could do that with Star Wars. I think you don't really, with all the legend stuff that's called legend stuff, you can make animated for us to enjoy. Like, you can make Shadows of the Empire a 3-part animated series and give it to us who deserve it, and Heir to the Empire, and all those
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic. You don't have to make them live. Those, and you don't have to do Clone Wars style animation that costs $1 trillion. You can go to the same animation that DC is doing. That's not great, but holy cow, we're enjoying every bit of the DC animated. Why do you think they keep making those things? It's because we're watching the crap out of them. and they're all good, and it's what we read. You have source material, but you're afraid to touch it. You're afraid of offending someone. You're afraid of, keeping the entire story. And oh man, I can go off.
Oh, Matt, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy told you they have no source material to pull from, so you have to believe what she says.
Dude, okay, I think she
No,
needs to
you're good.
retire from Disney. So
You're good. I've heard Alfie say, "Gosh, I thought we didn't have source material," about 20 times,
yeah,
if not more, on this podcast. So, I'll just bounce back to the ICCC because I want Michael to be happy and make lots of money. Okay, I have to share that. I hear Matt hearing Alfie.
But here, Alfie.
Thank you, hyperspace. Yes. Yeah. Wow.
I'm trying to keep my mouth shut because Brent said in the group text that we're not allowed to talk about the Acolyte anymore on this podcast. So I'm done talking about it. I'm done.
But
yeah,
you know what? There's bigger and better in the future. We've got good things to look forward to. Something good is going to happen. If
Last
nothing,
full guy over here.
If nothing more than the Lego show coming out this,
that'll
next
be
month.
fun. They decide to have fun
right?
with Lego, but everything else is just like, flip a coin. It's either going to be good or bad.
Right.
It's really.
I mean, I liked Obi-Wan. I thought they did a great job with that. I thought it was really good. It was really entertaining. I don't know, but maybe somebody has a differing opinion. But I really enjoyed.
Are you just
that.
trying to bait me?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you think I'm doing, Alfie? Come on, take it.
No. Hey, look at here. Look at here. Acolyte. What an awesome name. Crap show. Skeleton Crew. What an awesome name. I bet you it'll be a crap show.
Crap show.
Look at the first movie coming out. What's it called? Mandalorian and Grogu. That's all we need. See, that's all Jon Favreau needs. He's go like, look, this is what you're getting. You're getting Mandalorian. You're getting Grogu. You're going to love it. This is going to be a great movie. I don't have to have a cool name. It's because we already love Mandalorian. I'm a little sick of Grogu, but you know what? I'll take it if I get Mandalorian. And that's it, man. Like, it's like they're coming up with these cool names and they're going to be crap shows. And it's like, I don't understand what Disney's doing, man. Like Acolyte, when I heard the Acolyte, I'm like, I was speculating like crazy. And like, oh, what could it be? Like, the Sith, these new Sith coming out of the woodwork and blah, blah, blah. Maybe it'll be Darth Plagueis. And like, we got some of that, but, whatever. We just get a little thing of it at the end. But I think that's what it is. I think if it's got a boring name, it's going to be an awesome movie. And I think if it's got an awesome name, it's going to be a crap show. That's where I stand. I'm going to leave it at that.
Hey, you brought up Mandalorian and Grogu. Did I have a fever dream, or is Sigourney Weaver now going to be in that show?
Yes.
Yes.
Is she gonna never give up and never surrender?
Yes.
Wow.
That's my favorite Star Trek movie ever.
I mean, if she stands on Mandalorian Grogu and she wears an outfit like she wore at the end and never gave up and never surrender when they shut down the core of the whatever the hell that thing was.
The Omega 13.
There you go, the Omega 13. Good pull.
Omega 13.
Good pull.
All you need is 13 seconds to fix one error that you've made. That's
Why
all.
doesn't the clock stop? Because they know that the
I
plot
grabbed
point.
Bar's hammer. I will avenge thee.
Come on. Now, I think we can all agree, all six of us, that was a fantastic movie, right?
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
that's
Hell out of that
awesome.
movie. Hold on. D-Doc has no idea. Look at D-Doc's face. D-Doc is sitting there and has absolutely no idea.
Oh,
When Joe said
one of
all
the-
six of us, I was just like, well.
D-Doc.
Okay.
D-Doc.
I'm ashamed
As soon as
of
he
you.
said that,
Go
I
watch
could
it.
see D-Doc had no idea what you were talking
Okay.
about.
D-Doc, you stay up late. I know you do. After the show, when you're sitting
Galaxy
on the toilet,
Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
put your iPad in front of you. Galaxy Quest.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
So good. Absolutely so good.
My buddy gave me that.
I mean, for me, it is
It's a
good.
masterpiece.
I had a buddy
It is
who
a
talked to me
masterpiece.
about Tombstone and about Galaxy Quest, and this is years ago. And the next day at work, he showed up with the DVD for Galaxy Quest and Tombstone. I watched Tombstone, and this was years ago. and I never watched Galaxy Quest. I still have that DVD sitting.
You
there,
best
so I
put
need to
that thing
watch it.
in.
Yeah.
He actually got
Now.
pissed off
Okay.
at me that I hadn't watched like it for a
Oh my
while, and
gosh.
I
just
do have to
forgot
ask, did you
reminded
like
me.
Tombstone at least?
Oh my god! After I watched Tombstone, I've probably watched it 10 times since.
Okay.
It's just one
I
of
got
those
2
movies.
guns,
Okay.
one for the each.
Okay, guys, when D-Doc watches Galaxy Quest and you have a podcast on Galaxy's Quest,
We
you're
should
gonna
just
invite
do a
me,
Galaxy Quest. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That would be fun.
That's the
That
greatest.
would be a fun, positive podcast.
It's so relevant too with the convention.
Exactly.
We should. Man, why
right.
are there not more cosplayers for Galaxy Quest? And why are there not there should be an animated series or something from that. That was a fantastic show.
There's
mean-
a comic book series. I don't know if y'all knew that. Like right after I have. Okay, so it was a short-lived comic book series, but right after the movie, like I got the first 3 issues, and then they only got to like 11, and I couldn't find the rest of them. But I have the first 3.
Okay. All right. Brent, you raised your hand. Did you have something, or were you just shocked?
No. I'm still reeling on the fact that D-Doc hasn't watched Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
I can
I'm
see the
ashamed.
cover of the DVD box. I know that it has Tim Allen in it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Alan Rickman.
Alan
Tony
Rickman,
Alan
Shalhoub?
Rickman.
Professor Snape. Oh my God.
Monk.
Yeah, I can just see the cover for it. It's a bluish, purplish color. I can see their outfits. I never watched it. I don't know why. I
Never
just
give
need to
up.
watch it.
Never surrender.
I associate it with
If you look at
Star
the
Trek.
cast list,
That's why.
Oh, huge.
if
Dwight
you look
from-
at the cast
Dwight
list,
from
it's
all-
got like an all-star cast,
Yeah.
but it was all before they all got huge. It's insane.
Sigourney Weaver, and it was the dude from not Josh Biggs, the dude from Dodgeball.
yeah.
Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Vince Vaughn?
No.
And you got
Long?
the
Did you say Long? I think Long's is the name.
Justin
yeah.
Long.
and you got crewman number 3 or whatever. Like he's huge now. I can't remember his. He was in the Marvel movie.
He was in
as Justin
Deadpool.
Hammer.
He's in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have to ask you guys real quick because this is something that these other guys they make fun of me about. Are you guys fans of the movie Free Guy?
Yeah, I love Free
I
Guy.
haven't watched that still.
Oh, really? Do you watch anything, D-Dog? I mean,
Yeah, I actually just watched Terminator 2 the other night.
Is that your
First
first
time?
watch?
No, I watched
Okay.
Terminator 2 as a kid many times, and I remember so many scenes from it, but I never, as an adult, sat down and watched it. So it
That
was
was
a
like
good
the first-
experience watching it. You know what I gotta say? I feel like Anakin in Phantom Menace reminds me of John Connor in Terminator 2. Do you think that they based Anakin's character in Phantom Menace a bit off of
Huh.
him? Because I felt like the characters were very similar watching those 2 movies. Because the line delivery, like it was
As
interesting.
far as in not very good actors, or
No, I mean I'm just telling you, it's just it has that like
I'm just kidding when I say that. By the way, they were both
No,
fine.
they're
They're
both-
children, and they don't deserve that type of criticism. It was a joke.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like Hayden was not very good. I'm sorry.
That wasn't Hayden.
I know, not John
He's
Connor.
saying later.
He said Hayden. You said Anakin and John Connor being
in
very
episode
similar.
1 though. In episode
Yeah,
1.
that was
yeah,
Jake
the
Lloyd.
child.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I thought you were talking later, Anakin.
Yeah. And I did just watch Aliens for the first time, which
Yeah.
was good.
In case you're not
I
up
had-
on current events, we just got our asses kicked.
Dude, yeah, and I watched Twister before that. What's his
Ooh,
name?
Twister's fantastic.
Bill
Which I
Paxton?
can't believe
With
Bill
Bill Paxton.
Paxton. Bill Paxton must have popped blood vessels in Aliens for how much that dude is screaming in that movie.
Dude.
Like he is losing his mind half the movie.
Mhm.
If you've not seen Bill Paxton in Weird Science, you've just not. I mean that.
Oh yeah.
I feel Bill
Chip.
Paxton for me, like
Chip.
being, me being like a '90s kid.
Astute buttwad.
Quiet, coffee. Yeah.
Like me being a 90s kid, you know, speaking of Tombstone, Bill Paxton is one of those
Mhm.
guys who's like, as I watch more movies that were like the adult movies during my childhood, he was in so much stuff, like where I'm just like, damn, he's in this, he's in that. Like,
Yep.
he's a guy who really.
Didn't he get killed by a Terminator and a Predator?
Wow. I don't know. That's a good question.
So two cool things to get killed by.
Didn't he get
not
killed?
Not a Predator.
Wasn't he in Predator 2?
Well,
Was he?
time to IMDb it.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, he was.
Holy cow, good call.
And he was the punk at the beginning of Terminator that got killed.
Bill Paxton is one of those guys. You're right. He's in like 30 movies, and you sit there and go, holy cow, I cannot believe he's in that, he's in that, he's in that. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
There we go. Ripley and Vasquez are the original female movie badasses. Good call. They were very good characters.
So since we're airing, I don't know anything about the aliens world. I'm
very, very unknowledgeable. I've seen the first two, but
I don't by saying that is I've seen like the rides at like Disneyland when it was out and like those types of things. I've seen some of the clips, just like you said that you hadn't seen. Jim, you mentioned there was a movie that you hadn't seen, or you just knew the
show.
Quotes.
Yeah, Friends.
The
show Friends.
Go. Right. So I'm that way with aliens, to be honest. So I mean, you can send all the hate my way if you want.
I watched them way back when, like once, and that was it. I was like, oh, this was cool, and then I went on with my life, and they were never movies for me that had rewatchability to them.
You know what freaks you out is if you go on YouTube, and one of the things I like to check out on YouTube sometimes, just getting my happy place, is like throwing Saturday morning cartoons from the 80s, and you cannot believe when all of a sudden, because they show the commercials in between, and the kid comes out with the alien toys from way back then, and you're watching going, holy crap, that thing scares me right now looking at that toy. The kid is like, I've got the alien, and you're like,
when you open his mouth up and the thing jumps right out. Oh my gosh, dude.
The face huggers.
Yeah.
Dude, my kid, he's on a mission to prove that every universe of nerdom is connected to either Predator and Alien, which then is connected because of Aliens versus Predator. He's obsessed with it. Like he is, and so far anything I've brought up, he's like, he will go away for an hour and he'll come back and like, 9 degrees of whatever.
So it's a Kevin Bacon thing. Okay. I like it. I like it. I know we said no real topics tonight. Was there any topics? I know I brought up the Star Wars Outlaw, Sigourney Weaver. Are there other things out there in the Star Wars or fandom things going on?
Well, if I can, Before we do that, to jump back to ICCC, one of the things to look forward to is all the things to hunt for. Like there's going to be a patch hunt, there's a pin hunt, and all these things and activities. Mike is going to have kid stuff again. So this is like a huge family event.
We're going to have outdoor laser tag.
Yeah, outdoor laser tag with the 80s.
The old 80s stuff. Laser tag stuff.
You know what's funny is I have my own helmet. I've had that thing forever. I don't have the gun, but I still have the helmet. I need to see if that thing works.
When I was a kid, how excited I was to get laser tag for Christmas.
Dude,
I wanted it so bad I could taste it, but then none of the other kids in the neighborhood had it, so it sucked.
You were the rich kid, Alfie. You were the rich
like, what am I supposed to do with this?
See, me and Jim grew up broke. We went around and beat up the kids who had all the money and had all the cool things, and then we went home and cried because we didn't.
Is this the setup that we're talking about here?
I have that helmet.
Yeah,
I have that helmet.
Dude, that is awesome.
Can we put together a Rule the Galaxy team? Can the four of us?
Absolutely, you can.
Oh,
do you have an AED on hand or no CPR?
Brent, I will carry you out of that laser tag.
We won't leave a man behind. We will not leave a man behind.
I've got you, brother. Let's go.
Wow.
I'll do my best tech. I'll do my best Teak impersonation.
I'll make a phone call and see if we can have some EMS on site, just in case.
All right. Just making sure. If you got me running around a laser tag, just making sure.
Yeah, we're gonna need an ambulance on standby. We're gonna be having grown men.
We'll just hotwire you with a built-in defibrillator, and we'll just hit the button. Britt's down again. Britt's down again. He's back up, and he's back up.
Or it'll be like grown-ups when they played the Arrow game as adults. If you remember, I think I was the only one that laughed in the theater when Kevin James took off running and grabbed his hammy because he pulled his hammy.
Yes,
because that is another thing that happened with me. Like I'll turn and pull the
Matt? Do you want to tell the rock band injury story?
Oh yeah. So
he had to miss out on almost a whole ICCC from a rock band injury.
Yeah. So Mike, like he always has like a rock band party. So I don't know if y'all know the song "Hail to the King," but it's one of the greatest songs ever written. And like, if you hear that song and you not want to get up and punch walls and destroy things, I don't know what's wrong with you. But every time that song comes on, I get into it. And like, of course, I take the lead. And then like when it gets to the solo, I'm like, it's all me, baby. So I jump up and then I like do this like land, the rock land. And then I hear a loud pop. And then I'm like, guys, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I heard a loud pop. And then like, of course my like back is like, all right, like it felt a little sore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He's like, yeah.
Okay.
And then the next day I felt like my entire body broke. I needed to be in a body cast. And like, I'm like, all right, you can't play that song. That song is no longer allowed played at Micah's party. So, or if it is, like, I'm not allowed to play it so I don't injure myself anymore.
He came hobbling into the convention. We're all sweating and setting stuff up and everything. And Matt walks in. Oh, guys. Oh.
Wow. That's one of the things with age. The things we used to be able to do, eat White Castles, play Rock Band, now.
No, we don't eat White Castles.
It sounds like D-Doc still does it.
No.
D-Doc, you guys got to remember, D-Doc is 20 years younger than me. So he can eat that kind of stuff. If I eat that stuff, I wouldn't be able to go to work tomorrow.
No.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No. So again, that was a good segue because real quick, while we're talking ICCC and not rock band injuries, quickest, easiest way for people to go get tickets, just
icnashville.com.
icnashville.com. So there's still tickets available.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure there's all kinds of other things they can do, but icnashville.com, that's cool. Yeah. We'll tell people to go there.
First year, 4 days. It's a 4-day convention for the first time ever. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this year, there's no full VIP day. VIP gets early entrance, gets to stay late. They still get to mingle with the stars. They get to see some really cool stuff. This year, the VIPs are actually going to be able to sit in an intimate Q&A session with Warwick Davis. And so lots of cool stuff we're doing for the VIPs, but 4 days, in all 4 days, you can get general access all 4 days for the first time ever.
That's awesome. Okay. Good to know. I just want to make sure we got that out there for people to make sure, because we all tell people every time we get a chance to tell them you should go check this out. Because I've been to celebrations. Alfie's been to celebrations. Brent, D-Doc, have you been to Star Wars Celebration? I mean,
I love it.
They're okay. They're good, but they're not the same as going to something like the ICCC. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's one of those things like you got to do it once.
Yeah,
you got to do it once, like just to get the bigger sense of it. But ICCC is more intimate. You get more out of it. Yep. Like you won't get to see the $1 million setups, but you're gonna come out of ICCC with.
Hey, look, it's the video I made.
Yeah.
And
you're going to come out of ICCC with an experience you can't get at Celebration. So, like, whether it be you meet cosplay groups, join a group, do a hunt, do all the activities, listen to the
Hey, that's us.
ICCC
Hey, oh, no,
fans.
I know that guy. I know that guy.
Wow.
meet these amazing guests, and a lot of guests he hasn't had on the show. This is probably one of the best lineups he's had in all five. Is this his fifth year?
Sixth.
Yeah, 6. Well, we've been there since the beginning, so man, it's like blended in. But like, there's so much, and there's many photo opportunities. There's going to be a lot of places to take photos. A lot of different places that have a lot of different collectibles. It's not just Star Wars; it's sci-fi based. So there's like so much that everybody can do at this at ICCC. You're going to get a lot more. You're going to come away from ICCC like being sad that it's over and cannot wait for the next year. So
just saw. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That you just saw the tabletop gaming section. I mean, just bring up another tidbit about this. You can, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, you can go into the tabletop gaming room and you can sit and play a round of D&D with Duck Leeson.
Yeah, Jeff, man.
Jeff
so
Duck Leeson.
amazing.
He is so amazing, and he works at the D&D museum. I think it's in Lake Geneva, Michigan, I think is where it's at. He actually worked with the guy who invented the game for years.
Yeah,
and so
co-writer.
He was one of the co-writers of the original source material for D&D. So you can actually come to ICCC if you're a D&D fan, and you could sit and actually play a game DM'd by one of the co-inventors of the game.
And he'll never forget you either. It's amazing.
No,
like he'll come
he's one
and
of the
find you
coolest
like a
guys
friend.
ever.
Seeing that, I had two thoughts. One, tattoo room or tattoos. That's one.
Tattoos
topic.
are coming back. Yep, tattoos are back.
And then two, I think for Big Bad Brent, I think not this year, but for 2025, we need to have a Star Wars Legion room and have Brent and his guys from the Indy Garrison come down there and get some Legion going on. What do you think, Brent? You ready? You want to take that on?
I mean, yeah. We could probably travel in earnest. I mean, we host 32-person tournaments all the time. So, but it's all Star Wars based. With I just made up a Kofar. So anybody that likes the Acolyte, I made a terrain set that's based upon the Acolyte's Kofar Wookiee planet.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Alfie's probably already lined up what his next tattoo is going to be at the event.
I have an idea. I didn't get one last year, but I got one the year before. I think we should all just get matching ones.
Are you thinking about getting one this year, Alfie?
Probably. I'll probably get another one.
Nice.
Once he goes that deep, once he's into that ink that deep, he can't walk away from it now. I mean, yeah. I've been trying to talk my wife and let me get the Captain Rex the logo from his helmet right here on the back of between my shoulder blades.
Mm-hmm.
She's not buying that. She's not thinking that's a good idea.
Oh, man.
We'll see. I first was right here. She said no chest, and then
Joe, see if she'll let you get it on your lower back.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, okay. Little tramp
Joe
stamp
getting a tramp stamp?
Stamp, yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
Oh.
I do wear a lot of crop tops, so it would show off a lot.
You beat me to it. I was going to say Joe rolling up in ICCC with a crop top on,
playing laser tag in the crop top, with Captain Rex tats,
rocking that tramp stamp, baby.
Oh,
no, it's the '80s. It's the '80s tank top.
Oh yes.
Oh, the mesh.
Yeah.
The mesh.
'80s cutoff tank top.
The mesh.
Yeah.
Joe would be putting the audience in the ambulance if he was wearing that now.
They couldn't contain themselves.
In a good way, Joe. In a good way.
Okay, so I wasn't saying it
in a bad way. Why'd you go negative with that?
I was a little. I thought, I feel good about myself.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was going positive with.
I was thinking about going this year, going to the 501st, and just seeing if I could go with no shirt on and be Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi. Just come in
with the towel, or are you gonna have
Just
a
a
towel
towel.
wrapped around him?
Yeah,
Just a
just
towel.
I mean,
I don't think you have the hair for that.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
I definitely have the Rex hair. I can pull off Rex. Yeah, I could do
So
that.
basically, what you're telling me is if I wrap a towel around myself and put a towel on my head, I could go as the Rancor Keeper.
Oh, dude, I am loving that.
I'll spritz you with fake sweat before you start walking the floor, Brent.
There's a
Little
guy that shows up.
Vaseline.
There's a guy that shows up to the convention every year as the Rancor Keeper and looks just like him.
I saw him last year at it, actually. Yeah, he
Yeah.
really did.
He looks just like him.
Yeah. We got a lot of great pictures with the cosplayers.
We
last
do.
year.
I'm gonna
We have a
start-
great shared album. I actually have a vlog that I need to edit from last year. Maybe I should edit our vlog from last year and
Yeah.
release it as a teaser
Yeah.
for the ICCC this year. There you go. I would
Dude,
have fun
I love
editing
it.
that up.
Throw that right on our YouTube. Let's go. Come on. I love it. I look at those pictures from time to time because I mean, again, I sit there and I'm like, holy crap, we took pictures with this person, that person. Like, when did that happen? I mean, one of our most listened to shows, believe it or not, is the Femi Taylor. You gave us our audio.
Yeah.
We posted it as a podcast, and the Femi Taylor show is one of our most listened to shows that we've ever had on Rule the Galaxy.
She's actually really incredible. We actually did an interview with her years ago, not at ICCC, but at Starbase 1552 when it was still around. We used to go down to that comic book store all the time and do live on the spot broadcasts, and do random interviews with people, talk about stuff coming in. We were not aware that the owner had booked Femi Taylor that day. And we showed up and started doing a podcast. She showed up, set up her table, and we were like, would you be on our show? And she was like, sure. Why not?
She's cool to talk
Fantastic.
to.
She's super cool.
I think one of our favorite stories was when she talked about meeting Billy D.
Yeah.
And Billy D came up to her and was like, I know under that green, you're not, you get some color to you, and she was like telling us how her and Billy D connected. And I'm thinking, that was a really cool story. And then this year, Billy D is going to be there. And it's like, wow, what a connection, right? That's awesome. Yep. And on my 50th birthday party, one of my most treasured things is a bunch of people chipped in and got me the cameo from Billy D. Williams for my 50th. And so I have it on my phone. Sometimes I'm like, I want to get in a good mood, and I'll just click it and I'll be like, hey, Joe, it's Billy D. Welcome to, and I'm like, daggone. I'm like, that's just so cool. So yeah.
I think she was telling us the story, I think, about how she didn't get a chance to work with George the first time around for Jedi, but that she did get a chance to work directly with George for the reshoots. And then she got, I think it was Matt, was it her brother? She got a job for her brother as a random X-Wing pilot too.
Yeah, X-Wing pilot.
Yeah.
Well, the book that I read, the visual guide for the Return of the Jedi, Alfie now has it. Hopefully he's got a chance to check it out. There's a whole section in there about her coming back, and the title of it was, Will the Suit Still Fit?
Yeah.
And it's talking about how she went from 1982 doing that, and then came back in 96 or whatever, and refilmed the extra scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like you can't tell the difference from her from then to then. That many years later. It was really cool. So it's a good book too. So anyway, I monopolize as usual. Any topics you guys want to cover before we break up here in a little bit? D-Doc, you still doing okay? Digestive ways, all that?
Yeah, I actually stopped burping now, so
Okay.
I'm pretty good. I'm past.
I just want to thank you for letting me vent. And,
that's one of the other reasons why we started our own show. There are therapy sessions.
yeah.
So I mean, it does us mentally good to get on here and just bitch about all the stuff that is going on. So,
and I've been holding that in for a little bit. So
one thing I do want to plug, if I may, I would, all your fans out there, everybody watching, please, follow us on YouTube. You can find all of our stuff by going to ECPCTV.com. We are after the con. We're still talking about it, but after the con, we're going to get back into production on our first TV show. And so I'm going to get back. I'm going to start my conversations back with Amazon, but I originally had Amazon Prime Video was going to air it, but they wanted to see the pilots. And, like everything else happens, life happens and things go on, and we had to pull back. And actually, I think when we were gearing up for pre-production, COVID hit. Yay!
Yeah.
And so, so we are actually trying to plan and get everything back together again. So, but we're going to be hopefully in pre-production this fall for our first TV show, and that will be airing next year, and we'll have it out on all of our platforms. But it might be coming to Amazon Prime Video too. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Keep us all updated on that, and yeah, everybody go check out ECPCTV.com so you can see where to go, follow, listen to, watch everything they're doing. Again, they're going to be running the show when it comes to the podcast room and so many different things down there at the ICCC. So we're always excited about that. Plus, it's just good to hang with you guys between. We just sit there and chat and talk, and I think that's some of the most fun times when we're just sitting there BSing with each other, and pinching ourselves, thinking, "Man, I can't believe we're in the same room as this person, that person, or whatever." So
I know.
D-Doc, Brent, Alfie, anything from you guys that we didn't hit that you wanted to cover? Anything coming up? Anything like that? Go ahead, hit us with anything.
I don't have any other topics, but I'm just excited to see you guys at the ICCC, and any acolyte rant is always welcome on this podcast.
Wow.
I had to set aside some time for that. Like, we're gonna get deep in it.
I had to mess with Brent a little bit. That's the best part about our podcast. We all agree or disagree on anything, and just like the ICCC, you might have anyone who's a fan of any different Star Wars movie. They're all going to be there, and everyone gets along. We all have a good time together.
We do. So. Even when we poke fun at each other for stuff, like we always give Micah all kinds of grief. It's just fun. It's all in good fun.
Absolutely.
It's one of my favorite. Like, I love it when we all get on the table, like Magic Man from back of the cereal box. Mac, when we get him up on the stage. Like, we disagree on everything. I'm sure we'll find something to like mess with him about. Mike the Mike guy. We're gonna have Rule of the Galaxy, hyperspace. Man, we're all gonna get up there and just rock it with all these guests. Man, it's gonna be fun.
It will be fun. Brent, Alfie, any closing thoughts from you guys? We're getting
just excited to as it gets closer to go.
You got it. Well, guys, Jim, Matt. As always, thanks for coming and hanging, and just it's good to rekindle things before we head down there and start hanging with you guys again, and look forward to another great trip. Can't wait, and everybody should go check out, what is it again? ICNashville.com?
That is correct.
ICNashville.com to get your tickets. Go check it out. It's the 3rd through the 6th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
3rd through the 6th of October, so that's coming up very soon. And you'll have a great time. I can guarantee you that, no matter what your level and what you're looking into as fandom and everything like that. For us at Rule of the Galaxy, it's always great to see D-Doc and Alfie and Brent. It's been a while since we don't get to sit down like this very often. We're always kind of broke going in different directions now, which is crazy. But I will say, guys, we're going to make a side bet off air to see which one of us, maybe one of us has to get a tramp stamp, whoever gets the worst team in the fantasy football league. Maybe we should have to do that. I saw a lot of bad faces on that one. I'm going to say that.
Lori stole all my picks. She stole all my picks.
That's not a fair bet, because if you lose, Lori won't let you get one. So how is that fair if I lose?
I don't know. We might have to put it down in paper, and then we'll see what she says. We'll talk about it. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Everybody, always remember, YouTube is where we are. We go live there. The shows are on there. Like us, subscribe, follow us, tell your friends. we're on pretty much every podcast platform there is, Rule the Galaxy or Rule the Galaxy SW. And thanks to ECPCTV, Jim and Matt. And until next time, may the force be with you.